Hello, my name is Jason Barnett. I'm the Vice President of Manufacturing and Product Lifecycle Management at RAND IMAGINiT Technologies. I've been in this software industry for coming up on 25 years and really focused around design software and product lifecycle management. My background is I've done various roles, all the way from technical and being the tech support person to sales and being out in the field to product management and most recently executive management. So today I'm honored to speak to you about a really hot topic with technology, and that is digital transformation. So when people talk about this, you end up getting a little bit different perspective from whoever you talk to. And I think there's some reasons for that. One is it's a different journey for every customer. So the way that one company does it doesn't mean that the next company is going to do it exactly the same way. And secondly, because it's a journey, it takes a long time. Companies prioritize things differently, just depending on what their appetite is for change. So being that it's such a broad topic with varying perspectives, it's a little bit better for a conversation as opposed to a presentation. But I'll do my best today to really articulate the value points that might be important to your company. So with that said, I'll get the presentation started, and at the end, I'll make myself available for any live Q&A. So think of your questions, ask them as we go along, or type them in the panel, and I'll be around to answer them at the end. Okay, let's get started. So why would you consider transforming your business? So I guess one of the front and center reasons is the COVID pandemic really accelerated the decision to go digital for a lot of companies. And it removed some typical barriers, such as we've always done it this way and thinking that's okay. Businesses are being forced to adopt new business models at an accelerated pace. Competitors with similar products need to differentiate. The market's craving new business models and digital services. Industry 4.0 is being driven by modern manufacturing equipment that includes sensors that can be leveraged across the business. And then the cloud enables the small and medium business companies to participate where only large companies could invest heavily in technology in the past. Also, 5G and satellite internet will continue to connect the world with faster speeds. And we must all get better at communicating with our suppliers, construction teams, engineering service providers, and of course, our customers. So here's one of the definitions, and there's several out there, of digital transformation that I prefer. And I think the important part of this definition, and when it comes down to it, to me, it's driving new value, not only for your customer, but your employees as well. And in this new digital economy, we're competing for different things. We're competing for our customers, and digital transformation helps us fend off new market entrants. The world's gotten smaller because it's more digital, and new competition can enter our markets faster than ever before. We're also competing for new customers, and this type of transformation allows companies to gain market share from slower paced competitors in their space. And yes, now we compete for employees. The job market's tough, and there's a new workforce upon us. And they don't want to do repetitive tasks or data entry. They'll get frustrated if they can't get access to what they need to do their job. And they want to make an impact on the business, and they want to do it often. And the way that many of us work today, it's messy and it's complicated, it's slow and it's painful, and it's limiting the ability to make changes needed in order to survive and thrive. So what does digital transformation do? Well, it reduces waste by entering information only once. And ideally, that would be at the first point in time where that information is known, and then leveraged throughout the entire life cycle of that particular product or project. And that will help reduce time to market. It decreases non-value added tasks like finding information and having meetings for status updates. It'll enable smart decisions that improve the quality of the product or the project. And it will help foster innovation by allowing employees to focus on what's really important. It'll also automate laborious tasks, such as aggregating information. It'll give employees the ability to leverage standard equipment models through design automation. It'll allow the automation of bill of material roll-ups to reduce wasted time. It'll help integrate systems to leverage data across processes. Then it'll enable automatic project dashboards and capture as-built information, just to name some. It also produces a digital element to the product or project that your customer can value directly and benefit from. So imagine you building a smarter data set to the product or project that integrates into the customer's own digital transformation initiatives. Also imagine delivering value-added services to those products and projects. It creates an opportunity for project commissioning and construction portals to foster real-time collaboration. It enables proactive monitoring linked to maintenance to ensure maximum uptime or optimizing the factory. And these are just some of the things, some of the key things that a digital transformation might do. So the other thing that it does is it provides an opportunity to improve business model maturity and, quite honestly, improve the company culture. So this is a look at a 4-level maturity matrix that we leverage as a guide, along with our partners at Autodesk. We use this quite a bit. So some of you might have seen this before, but there's several more attributes to each of these categories, but I simplified this slide to really not make it an eye chart. On the left, you can see levels 1 through 4 with increasing company value as those levels increase. Across the top, there's some key categories, and I'll just give some brief examples of those particular categories. So in data and process, a level 1 would be no change control, but a level 3 would have an automated enterprise change management process. In design and simulate, a level 2 might not have any design automation, but a level 4 would need to have rules-based design and configuration for engineer to order items. And then in manufacturing, using 2D drawings to program a machine at a level 1 turns into a level 3 when you start using tools that will help automate the creation of toolpath. And then in the factory, going from mostly 2D design with pockets of 3D to a level where point clouds are being used to validate as-is layouts, and then also optimizing the factory, leveraging the digital twin and Industry 4.0 sensors brings that level of maturity up to a 4. So now we'll get into some of the fun part of digital transformation. So this is a visual that I referenced that helps explain what all this looks like in terms of digital twins and the digital thread. So this particular example is of a development and delivery process of, let's say, a factory or capital equipment that's going into a factory. And across the top, you can see different stages, concept, plan, design, etc. Tied to each of these stages includes its own digital twin that publishes to the digital thread. So all of that data fed into the digital twins is aggregated into one comprehensive roll-up of the digital twin of a complete project. Now, some of the things to consider when you look at this are the digital thread is not a one-way street. And actually, the aggregated digital twin kind of lives and gives feedback back to the other digital twins, which makes them more intelligent. Also, the aggregated digital twin does not exist without the digital thread. And to be a real digital twin of the real world, the digital thread must be implemented across all processes. If that doesn't happen, there'll be a breakdown and that digital twin becomes outdated sometimes almost instantly. So as you watch this video, I'll explain some of the elements of this digital twin. So this is a real example of a digital twin, and one of the things you'll see first off is you see a model and a web viewer, which includes standard features like being able to rotate it, being able to zoom. Some of the other things that you could do is create quick sections, do markups, explode, among other things. But the real power of this is that it's connected data. So it's actually connected to the digital thread. And if you notice in the side panel, you can see real-time performance data as it comes in being read from sensors. You can quickly access maintenance records for a particular component. So inside of those maintenance records, you can see revisions on parts. We could look at issues. You could see statistics about how many issues there have been on that particular component. And also drawings and documentations are available simply by clicking on the part. So really easy to find the information that you need. It's actually pretty amazing in my view. And finally, procurement information can quickly be found. So this includes things like supplier information, where to buy this part from, along with part pricing and trends on how the pricing has gone up and down over time. So beyond that, this platform, platform is Autodesk Forge. Other things can be developed on it, like custom commands and views that can be created for showing things like heat maps and displaying other information on the model. So, for example, if you wanted to see all the issues on a part more visually, we could create commands that would actually do that right on this easy to use window. So here's another view of the same technology, but it's a very large model. So the Forge large model viewer allows consumers to navigate very large aggregated data sets, like the plant that you see here, or large buildings, large manufacturing facilities. This type of platform technology really allows companies of all sizes to take advantage of the cloud. And it can help automate processes, connect teams and workflows, and quickly visualize data and share it with others. So instead of setting up and managing all the infrastructure to host a large model, Autodesk has actually developed tools that not only they leverage for their own products, but they're enabling us and you to do the same. Now, you can leverage the Forge platform and viewer to quickly and more easily host your digital twin as opposed to doing it in-house, which used to make it really prohibitive. So what does all this mean to manufacturers? So now I'll explore some of the elements and then the benefits of going digital across the enterprise. So here are some of the key elements of a digital twin, a digital thread that lead to a digital transformation, but this is not an all-inclusive list, just certainly some points. So things that need to happen: enablement of process management and process standardization, leveraging digital threads to obtain data across the lifecycle of a product or a project, data management. And that includes things like a data standard for the company, model standards, automation, and computer systems are very good at automating common tasks. We should take advantage of that. And the two main areas that we typically see are process and design automation. Business systems integration. This is nothing new to us, something we've been doing for many years. And platforms like Forge and Fusion 360, and those will continue to eliminate some of the more complex integrations as these platforms over time mature. Project management, including the product development process, project commissioning, team collaboration, and things like maintenance and service turnover. Also enables automatic reporting and dashboards, promotes business model maturity, the 4 key levels that I talked about previously. And it promotes a digital transformation culture. So, having that culture change will help bring your people along with you. So what does it do actually? So It helps liberate an organization to become more innovative and creative. It helps you create better, more valuable products designed for manufacturability in less time. It enables effortless collaboration with engineering service providers, supply chains, construction professionals, and expands the definition of a product or a project from something standalone to something with services integrated. Enables more integrated delivery, new service and maintenance offerings, better aftermarket support for spares, more data-rich products with sensors. Takes advantage of those. And it empowers people to do higher value work, boost productivity, and allows your company to grow. It really does this through operational awareness, real-time collaboration, process automation, and other things, but helping create that competitive advantage. So in summary, I think a couple of things that it does is develops a continuity of information flow in the business. So technology platforms have reached the point where all this product related or project related information can be captured within digitized processes. It's now much easier to do than what it used to be. It also assists in things like mergers and acquisitions. So think about if a company is dependent on tribal knowledge with essential information, all embedded in the heads of individual employees and not codified into the business systems, it'll have a really difficult time if it wants to merge with a purchased asset. And many companies that acquire businesses, they're not taking full advantage of those acquisitions because they're simply using multiple disconnected systems and resources to create and measure the same things. So this graphic illustrates in the white areas, areas that are platforms that continually deliver information to stakeholders throughout the development process in a connected, collaborative way. The other areas are connected through the digital thread, allowing a smooth flow of information. But really is a good view at what kind of an optimized business would look like, leveraging both a platform and a digital thread. So I'd be remiss if I didn't address cybersecurity. This is because we're talking about digital and, with hackers trying to take over pipelines and hold people hostage, it's a key factor. And we need to be secure when we collaborate across an extended value network. And as more information is created, shared, and reused with partners and suppliers, the need for extensive IP protection obviously becomes more critical. So although adding digital processes certainly adds the possibility of unauthorized entry points, I'd argue that the traditional methods of communication, which you see in the graphic here, they create a greater risk than professionally managed infrastructure, especially when leveraging cloud technology and a connected data strategy. When we see cyber attacks happen, oftentimes they happen on a traditional company managed server. And digital transformation is an opportunity to adopt modern data securities and policies and make some changes to secure your business. Okay, so we're all in the same boat. We need a new way. We all need to change, but how do we get started? So digital transformation should reflect a company culture. Those are things such as focusing on quality, customer orientation, retention, sustainability, work-life balance. It requires a champion and executive sponsorship. We recommend also that you form a digital team that can help plan and execute your strategy. And then we'd recommend that you leverage experts with experience to build the architecture and the roadmap, which includes things like developing standards for data, processes, and security, helping to identify opportunities, going back to automation areas where you can do things once and then leverage it many times. Experts can help enable the digital thread and the digital stream throughout all the processes, can help with configuring systems to support that digital thread, and then provide some supervision to enable the digital thread. So for more information on this topic, I just hit it very briefly, but our enterprise architect, Greg Dorman, is hosting an on-demand session. And I highly recommend viewing his session, as he has been an integral part of many of our most successful technology projects. And I think it will be a highly valuable session. So I do invite you to join that. Before I wrap up, I'd like to share some, to me, exciting customer stories. So first of all, I've been very fortunate to work closely with Advanced Drainage Systems. So they build highly engineered, sustainable underground water storage systems. They're one of the top recyclers in the US. And as you can see in the picture, there's a cutout of a parking lot, and many of you probably aren't familiar with their products because they're usually buried in the ground, other than the black pipes with the green stripe down the side. Lots of people have seen those. But as you can see, they put these systems underneath the ground. What they do is when rainwater comes into, let's say like this, a parking lot, it captures that water and then releases it in a responsible way that doesn't hurt the environment. So their story goes, due to an increase in market demand, they had to find ways to improve turnaround times to customers, and that's for quotes and projects. So they really had two options. One is hire more engineers, so hire about 20 engineers, which would require years of training to get them up to speed, because their product it may not look all that complicated, but there's a lot of rules to it. So it takes a long time to get somebody up to speed. Or they identified that they could do 70% of the work if they through an engineering system. So they thought 70% of this work could be defined and implemented in an engineering system. So fortunately, they've decided to leverage technology, which could provide them with long-term cost savings. And the new solution that we've developed together comes with a set of web and desktop tools that automate the ADS design process for creating layouts and models of their systems. It also enables customers to create job-specific designs on their own without interacting at all with the ADS engineering team. So it's a self-service tool. So pretty neat stuff. You can see a little bit of their web tool. Actually, you can go on and create web layouts on an overlay of a site, hit a button, and it delivers specifications, drawings, and documents, everything to the end user. So neat stuff. ADS's design tools are open to the public. I invite you to go to their website and check them out. But they've done a really nice job with their digital transformation. Next is Nortec. So Nortec is a $2.5 billion a year heating and ventilation and air conditioning company. So they've grown both organically, but also by acquiring many smaller businesses. So at one time, actually left them with over 700 separate servers. So their legacy IT architectures were really slowing their production down. So a reorganization of the company's digital architecture was imperative. So again, I've been fortunate to be a small part of this company's transformation, which continues as we speak. And to them, the ability to work online at all times is critical, because they're all about speed to market. Speed helps them to be more flexible and adaptable, and of course, win more business and customer preference. And their goal was to align everything onto a single platform, including design and manufacturing programs and customer-facing apps. So here's a couple of examples of what they've done so far. So their customers now can access drawings through a free app for troubleshooting their HVAC unit. So customer can, it's a great customer experience, kind of being able to go and just pull up the drawings themselves, using a free app. And secondly, the introduction of digital twins with selected customers means that those customers actually become a guide to product improvement. So not only does it improve the customer experience, but the customer is actually helping guide innovations in the product itself. So it's a journey, but Nortec continues to implement a range of digital tools at the pace really appropriate for their employees and their customers, but doing an outstanding job here. So finally, the last two customers have been large corporations, but I wanted to share an example of a small to medium-sized business with you. This isn't a huge business, but with modern tools, digital transformation, it's now accessible to companies of all sizes. So, and for Wirecrafters, they do several hundreds of quotes per week with a relatively small team. They've sought to replace a limited 2D AutoCAD-based system, and the goal is to produce high-quality proposals and products while being able to account for many special site conditions. They run into them all the time. So the Wirecrafters transformation includes standardized engineering tools for fast and flexible 3D design. It includes fast quoting tools for sales, automated manufacturing, documentation, and web-based configuration and model viewing. And what's most impressive to me, and maybe for all of these, is that all these tools work together, leveraging the same information and standards. They simply all flow together. So Wirecrafters is digitally tuning their business to continue to provide free designs and layouts, great response time, which they're well known for, high quality proposals, and high quality customized products. So, which will help them remain a market leader for years to come. All right, in closing, I'd like to say thank you very much for spending your time with me today. I will be here to answer any questions, and I do invite you to contact me by email with any questions or comments that you might come up with in the future. Our event continues on. This is the first session, so I hope you'll be able to attend the following more specific workstream sessions. So today at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have Elevating the Shop Floor with Modern Data and Process Management, and that's with Carl Smith and Ed Gilman. At 3 p.m., we have Facilitating the Digital Transformation with CAD Assets and Visualization with Rusty Belcher. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., we have Connecting Manufacturing and Building Design Workflows with Caleb Funk and Adriana Snyder. At 2 p.m., The Power of Automation and Manufacturing Design will be hosted by Sean Tolojeski. And then 3 p.m., our last session, A Holistic Approach to Digital Transformation with Jason Johnson. I thank you very much. I will, like I said, I'll be here to answer any questions, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.